Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Rahu back. Rahu back. All right. We are in this afternoon for another session with Let My Words Be Known. And we're here with Tabitha. Rahu back, sister. How are you this evening?
Rahu back. I'm okay.
Good.
Ready to let it rip.
Okay. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me on your platform. I appreciate this. And I also want the family to know that this will be the new platform. You want to hear any updates? You want to know what's going on with the master teacher? This is the channel. So you should all like and subscribe to the channel. So that way when the brothers are ready to post something, you will automatically get a notification that there's new information for you to tune into.
Right. Okay. Would you like to start off with
The all prayer?
Yes.
Sure. Anuki Jawif Pa Ashuk Im Pa Paut Wu Kalal Ashuk Kawun Jawaf Neye Anuki Kasam Im Pa Paut Wu Pa Paut Kawun Kasam Im Neye Anuki Wahu Ameh Pa Paut Wu Pa Paut Kawun Wahu Ameh Neye Nakuk Kador Naja Ameh Kasam Im Pa Paut Wu Habub Ameh Moskat Nakuk Kador Kawan Kalil Pafaf Nukuk de yor jawif pa paut ameh wase ameh de yarni kawun lake bakoi jawif pa paut anuki yabadbi nefasni pa paut kawun anuki pa paut kador nakuk kador pa paut amul nakuk amul. Well, Rahubat Musyaru, and again, thank you for tuning in. I have a lot to cover today. And I want to let you all know that these updates, affirmation, let my words be known, affirmation will be done in segments because there are a lot of people that are involved with the incarceration of Dr. Malachi'S York. And that's why it's called a legal update because you all have been beguiled, you all have been lied to, and you all have been fooled. And like I said, it's okay to be tricked and to be beguiled by the devil because they're very clever at making you think that things are one way when it's another. Okay? So it's okay. I want you all to know, I don't want you all to feel guilty or feel bad because people played you or played mind games and lied to you because I was also lied to. Okay? So I'm opening this to brothers, to Kim and the brother Demir. You all should thank them for opening this platform so that I could speak the truth and let you all know what happened legally. Why is the master teacher still incarcerated? And it's going on 21 years. Tomorrow is May 8th. It will be 21 years. Okay? That an innocent man is in prison for something that he did not do, and it was his own people that did this to him. Okay? Now, I want to make something clear to you. There are members of this tribe that will tell you that I'm lying. They will attack me, and the only reason why they are is because they are afraid. Okay? Many of them think I'm going to tell them what I'm doing. I'm not telling them nothing. Okay? I'm telling y'all what's getting done, and you figure it out. Okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you play chess, you don't let the person know the move that you're making. And this is a fact. Baba said that the real name of chess is called Pa Jahan. And I said, what does that mean? And Baba said it means the king is dead. And when you're making chess moves, you don't see it coming. The master teacher said, you don't see it coming. All right? So you're not going to see it coming, but know for a fact that he will be home. And the master teacher also broke down and said, it's that sling. He said it was that little rock that knocked down Goliath. When a fight broke out with David and Goliath, he said it was that little freaking rock that knocked a big giant down. So don't underestimate the powers of the Natharu, because they see all, they hear all, and they know all, and they are watching you all. Okay? And so now it is time, like the master teacher said, for the chickens to come home to roost. What does that mean? That means that all the dirt, all the lies, all the games that you played has now come to haunt your trifling maggot behind. Because that's what it says in the Shadowless. Bible calls them maggots. The Natharu calls them maggots, cesspools of evil. And there are members in this tribe that are responsible for the master teachers in conservation. They have been playing games, lying on y'all, stealing from y'all, lying on me, making up stuff, playing games, and stealing Baba's money for far too long, and it is time that we take them down. So now, the last update I gave y'all last week was about Judge Royals. Now, today, it's about Dale Elaine Brown, a.k.a. Waki, a.k.a. the clan mother, a.k.a. my brother, the so-called sister of the master teacher. It is time right now that we rip her to shreds, because she is a liar, she is a fraud, she is a devil, she is a whore, she is a freak, she is a nasty, disgusting woman, okay? And she talks to people like that. She think we supposed to cater to her. You have not written any books. You have not done anything for your people. All you've done was lie and play games, and today it ends. So, let me begin, Yassar, with our proclamation.
Go ahead, sis.
Chapter 12, the proclamation. And as the master teacher said, make a copy of this, type it out, and put it in your home in a frame, and it should be read every day. O Nawapians, Sabaeans, look at those who cheat and speak untruth, yet they still claim to be one of us, one of our loyal populace. We true Sabaeans have these proclamations. 1. Do not tread in the path of Isfat, evil, on his highway of lawlessness. 2. Do not lie about Wu Sabat by rejecting Pa Munzal Nazdar Amunababra e Akata Zetwi, who we now know is Parnabab Yanun. 3. Do not lie, misusing our creed of truth, Hakek, by ignoring the facts. 4. Do not lie and claim you are a true lover of truth unless by practicing it. 5. Do not lie and say you can be trusted and loyal to your true race, Sabaeans, when you are not. 6. Do not lie and say you are the peacemaker when you are indeed the source of arguments, fights, and gossip. 7. Do not lie and commit atrocities by rejecting ma'at, reconciliation, when other Sabaeans wish to make up. 8. Do not lie and say you can be trusted while you sneak around, violating all that you claim is best for our people. Dale Elaine Brown, Waki the clan mother. 9. Do not lie, deceive, cheat by acting and living in the image of this beast man of sin. If you undertake these responsibilities, let it be known by your actions. So, now, it's time to get into it, family. I have to let you all know, Okay, first I'd like to say again, Rahubat Musyaru. We are in the sun cycle. The moon cycle began 6,000 years ago, starting with the birth of Canaan, which is the physical manifestation of the devil, who we know is Satan. So I'm saying this because y'all need to know that the evil one was granted respite. That's how Bible puts it in the doctrine. He says respite. And do you all know what respite means? It means a short period of time or a rest or relief from a difficult situation until the end of time. So he could prove man's unworthiness, right? So now we are in the hereafter, the end of the devil's reign that started June 6, 1996. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we are in the age of the Aquarius. Well, on that day, that was the age of the Aquarius, and it was the first stage after the full moon. Okay? So now, all of I'm saying this for a reason, I'm going to get to it, so please be patient with me. So now, all of the disagreeable shadow people, as it states in our Pataruk, called shadow people, they are seeking to destroy and condemn the good works of Sabian world over. Okay? So it's like every time I take a step towards Baba coming home, every time I make a move to him coming out, these niggas is doing stuff behind the scenes to prevent it. So don't sit up there running your mouth talking about I said this and I said that. This was going to get done and this was going to. You didn't say that to them niggas that been lying to y'all for 21 years. Y'all don't let that brother, Mr. Bundy, slander your sister because he don't walk with us. Talking about how I said I was going to do this and I said I was going to do that. Oh, man, sit your raggedy, stinking, funky, broke behind down and stop slandering my name. Okay? Because you've done nothing but run your mouth, secret squirrel. Because that's what you look like. You're nothing but a traitor. So stop slandering my good work and my hard work. Okay? I want to make that straight. So I want y'all to know, Yassar, do not fret. I'm here to make sure that you understand totally what we are dealing with. Because these niggas are trifling, they're evil, they're clever, yet the truth is here. And if you watch the Twilight Zone season 2, episode 5, called The Howling Man, then you know that we trapped the devil with the truth. And these evil dwellers, or shall I say shadowers, are here in our tribe, professing to be one of us, dressing like us, reciting our doctrine on the internet, gaining followers, and their only desire is to take you off the path. As it states in Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Baba used to quote this all the time. All the time. And he would say, when he would teach class, whatever brother was there, he would tell them to read it. And I'm going to read it to you. Matthew chapter 3, 13 through 14. It says, enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many be there which go in at thereat. And then verse 14 says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few be there that find it. Now let me explain it to you. When we lived in the Ansar Law community, it was located on Bushwick Avenue, right? And the children's house was located on a street called Cedar, like Kedar, because the C and the K is still the same letter, just different pronunciations, right? And Baba lived on Hart Street, okay? And the master teacher said that the Natharu, the 24 elders, handpicked that place on Bushwick Avenue specifically so that it could branch out to what it is today, right? So it was on Bushwick Avenue. Baba was on Hart Street. The children's bank was on Cedar, and the next block was called Sudan. You see? So it was all orchestrated and planned from the elders from the beginning, right? And Baba used to say, broad is the way that many walk, and narrow is the gate that few find, that few walk. And then when you cross the street and you go to get on the J train on Bushwick Avenue, that's Broadway right there. You see? And Bob would say, broad is the gate and narrow is the way. Broad is the gate that leads to destruction, the gate that leads to destruction, and everybody walking that way. But the narrow and straight gate, the path, the pataruk that we walk is narrow and very few walk, and we are in the times where Bible said very few will make it. So I'm here to tell y'all, stay on the path of Pataruk, and don't let these devils, what they did and what they have done and what's going on, make you think that Bob's not coming home. He will be out. But these things have to play out before his release, and you all need to know the truth, so that way they can be shut down, you all can be protected and do what you need to do, and we can come together and bring him home. And as I said, I need your support. Don't let these niggas in this tribe, these black devils, deter you to the wrong way. In fact, this platform is only for the children of the Most High. You devils want to listen, and listen, go ahead and listen on. But this information ain't for you. I'm doing this for my people that I care about, okay, who have been lied to and misled for years. So you see, these shadowers are evil. And as it states in verse 10 of our book called The Shadower, it says the mouth of a shadow person is like a cesspool from which nothing comes forth except bad smells. Now, I don't know if any of you ever been around these devils, but their breath smells like a putrid rottenness to the core, enough to make you get away from them. And Baba stated many years ago that those smells are evil entities inside of them. And to watch the movie called The Host, and to also watch the movie called Fallen, because the movie Fallen and the movie Host, well, the movie Host is about these beings that take over a human body. And the movie Fallen is about an evil spirit called Azazel. And he walks right inside of you and he touches another person and goes right inside of them. And from person to person, the master teacher refers to it as walking. And he stated that if you think it's not you, then it is you. We have to begin to be aware, Musyaru, and do not take this update lightly. This is real. This is your life. And it's my job to set the record straight and make sure that you are all aware, and you need to know that this is a war. And as I have asked, I'm kindly asking again to help me so that Baba can get out of there. It's just been far too long, and the people behind this are right in your face, professing to be with us when they were part of the scheme all along. But what they did not know is that someone like me would drop a nitroglycerin bomb and cause an explosion to their corrupt asses. And I'm tired of these niggas and their evil ways and this so-called I'm this and I'm that. You understand? I just want y'all to know that I care about Baba, and that this update and this call is only being done for the children of the Most High and the helpers, or what the master teacher referred to as the aiders of the Most High in the surah called Suratu Nasir. Now, I just want to read that real quick to you all, because Baba pointed this out to me, and I need to let you all hear what he said about this prayer. He said, because I was complaining to Baba, I was like, you've been in there all these years, like, when are you going to come out? And you know how Baba is, he doesn't really sit down and explain things, but he drops jewels. So he said to me, he wrote about Suratu Nasir, which we used to recite it all the time, and it's in the Holy Quran. I'm going to read the translation from the master teacher, which is the last surah, and it says, Nasir, aid, when it comes. It was not during Muhammad's time, and the victorious seal opens, the opening of the seventh seal. And you have seen the Enocytes, Nas, entering, converting into the sources. Deen means of judgment in Afwaj, crowds. So then, Sabia, glorify and exalt your sustainer, and have gratitude, and ask for his forgiveness, for surely he is receptive to those who turn and seek in repentance. So now, what that surah is breaking down is talking about when the ultimate help comes and the victory is achieved. And then you will see people embracing in the ways of the Most High, coming together in crowds, living and practicing our way of life. And then it says to glorify and give praise to our Savior and seek forgiveness, for surely you will be forgiven. Now, these black devils, they are the opposite. You see, they refuse to worship the Most High and be thankful. And Baba said, just like Ankenaten's time, they just refuse to worship the Most High. Now today, as I said before, this update is about legal. And though I may not discuss legal terms, it is legal, because you all may think that it's the evil society Like I said, you think it's Judge Charles Ashley Royals, you think it's Sheriff Howard Richard Sills, or you think it may be FBI agent Jaylene Ward, or perhaps the Edward Garland law firm, and the
Mm-hmm.
list goes on. Yet let me enlighten you, family, on what really went on
Please
the
do.
Dr. Malachi'S New York case, and who was behind his incarceration, and why he had been in there for going on 21 years, family. You see, today it's about Shady Dale, okay? Now, what's the coincidence that her name is Dale and the name of the land was Shady Dale Road, okay? AKA Dale Elaine Brown, your ex-clan member, okay? Look at the name of the street that Tamaray was on, Shady Dale Road, okay? The master used to teach us years ago about names and how they are like landing sites to explain what's going on and how they're not names, they're titles. Like, for instance, where was the Ansar Law community on Bushwick Avenue? Right? 719 Bushwick Avenue. Then, where was the master's home? It was 548 Hart Street, right? And as I said to y'all before, the children's bait was on Cedar Street. And then you had Sudan, okay? What is a bushwick? A bush, according to the Bible, was a bush that it wasn't on fire yet. It was an illuminated light, right? That represented flames,
Mm-hmm.
yet it wasn't consumed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it represented what Moses was appointed to do when the God Yahweh had to lead the tribe of Israel, or the Israelites, or shall I say the slaves, to a promised land, right? And what is a wick? That's what you light a candle with. Or what does the candles represent? The menorah, the 9 candles of a wick. So let me get back to my points, family, because I don't want to lose you. You see, Dale, aka Waki, your clan mother, is a dirty, low-down witch, and she needs her behind kicked today. And I'm going to do exactly that with my two-edged sword, and I'm going to cut the lies, because she is the one who spearheaded this whole mess. They would like to put it all on Jake, and they'd like to put it all on Habiba, aka Abigail Washington. Look at her name, Abigail. What does Abba mean? Abba means father. And what does the last part of her name, Gail, mean, or jail? Because like I said, G and J is the same thing. Abba, Gail, father, jail, Washington, Wash Shaitan. You see what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, y'all, the ex-clan mother, aka Waki, or your clan mother, is behind it all. Her son Kedar, her daughter Fatima, Jacob York, they all conspired and spearheaded this thing to take place, and they have helpers. Some of them died. Some of their helpers died, but there are still others lurking around protecting her, like Joe and Robbie and others, like in the movie The Omen. Y'all remember that movie The Omen, when that
Mm-hmm.
lady,
Yes.
remember, her name was Mrs. Baylock, right? She was one of the apostles of Satan who knew that Damien Thorne was the Antichrist. So after Damien's first nanny hung herself on his birthday, Mrs. Baylock became Damien's nanny. Now remember, in the movie The Omen, she came in as a nanny, pretending she was there to assist when her real plot was to protect the child. So what do you think Joe and Robbie and the clique in the administration are? Look at them. Look at them real good and see how no one wants to be around them but them. And then when the good ones come around, they got that certain look for you. We are supposed to be family, but they push you away, make you feel like they're God's special little creatures. They pretend they got this deep connection with the master, standing before you, reading our affirmation, standing up erect, fooling everybody. And like I said, they can fool all of y'all, but they won't fool the elite. So you see, I know who these devils are. And they pretend in front of you that I'm the enemy. And trust me, they are jealous of me and they are afraid of me because they know I love Baba and they know that I know who they are. And now it's time for these niggas to put their head in the sand. It's time for them all to be exposed, and it's time for you all to support the sister who rightfully should be supported, because I'm the one that's sacrificing my life. And you know what? All of y'all should be sacrificing your life. We're all supposed to put our life on the line for the master teacher like he did for us. All of you,
True.
okay? Because the master teacher, trust me, I've helped him on many occasions and even saved his own life. Trust me when I tell you, y'all, they are trying to assassinate Baba, and they are doing it in the name of let's free Baba. I got this lawyer. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And they're trying to have Baba assassinated so that the blood won't be on their hands. I'm telling y'all now, I have saved Baba's life on many occasions when they were trying to assassinate him in that prison. Trust me when I tell y'all this. All right? But see, like it says in John chapter 8, verse 44, you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. See, it's saying there that he was a murderer because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So, now, I'm telling y'all now that Dale Elaine Brown, a.k.a. your ex-clan mother, is a devil. She's a dog, or what we called in the Ansar days, she's a jinn. She's a witch and a whore, and she is as evil as it gets. And I know that, and I don't know if y'all know this, there's an old saying that if you ever want to find out who is behind a scheme or scam, or if you ever want to find out who is behind a murder or a conspiracy, all you need to do is
Follow the
follow the
money.
money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, follow the money. Look at her. She's greedy. It's always about the money. And back in 2016, y'all don't know this, but I'm going to tell y'all now, and you can look it up. She paid off that mini mansion that she lives off of the back of Sabines, using OES, yelling at sisters, and treating them like crap, talking about that I'm his sister stuff. And now the sister Kirk Amun, she got her under her spell, and I know that for a fact because I was friends with Kirk Amun, and now Kirk Amun flipped on me, and now she's working with Waki, and Waki got her under her spell, using her money. All they need is your name, all they need is your picture, all they need is your date of birth, and they go to work. Okay? You see, these shadow people, I'm going to tell you something about them. They do not stand in the vitality of the green light, always wanting to be seen and heard by our ancestors. It says that the shadower's job is to condemn the good works of Sabaeans, and they do it with their mouth. They are the greatest liars. As I stated to you, they will make up lies. They will cry, pretend they love Baba, tell you he is her brother. Oh, that's my brother. And she uses that statement all the time to take advantage of everybody and everyone, and that y'all know, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all know that woman ain't right. So let's start with the Garland Law Firm. Where did the Garland Law Firm come from? Waki, her son Kedar, and Fatima and them got the Garland Law Firm, and they used that lawyer and robbed the Nawapians for over $1 million. Okay? And she said herself, oh, my son Kedar got that lawyer for him. No. The Garland Law Firm works with the government. And Baba told me that rapper T.I., that when he caught them charges with all them guns, Baba sent me a picture of the rapper T.I. when that happened. It showed me his charges and circled the face of Garland. It said, look, and point an arrow and put the name Garland in. And I looked at it, I was like, what? And I wrote Baba back and I said, well, how did T.I. get a year and a day? Because that's the minimum sentence that any federal inmate could ever get. If you get charged with all them guns and you get a year and a day, no, nigga. And Baba said, because now T.I. will work for the government, and Garland is working with him because Garland works for the government. So what do you think they did with the Garland Law Firm? That Waki, her son, Fatima and them used that Garland Law Firm to frame Baba and get Baba sentenced to all that time in prison. And meanwhile, while Baba was being transferred from jail to jail to jail to jail to jail, they do that to inmates. It's called diesel therapy. And they transferred Baba from this jail to that jail, from that jail to this jail. Now, mind you, you got members of this tribe who were supposed to be police officers like Joe and Leon and all them other brothers that were police officers. Why did they not stop them officers from torturing Baba? Them police officers from transferring Baba? See, because I'm going to tell you what, Baba told me they transferred him from this prison to that prison to this prison to that prison so that he could not read his case. It's called diesel therapy. They do it to high profile cases so that way they can come up with ways to sentence him so that he won't get out. And your clan mother, your ex-clan mother is behind it. So all you niggas hanging around this woman claiming she Baba's sister and lying and mistreating y'all and using y'all as her slaves and her servants, y'all better get away from her because she got it coming. As a matter of fact, she's sick right now. She got a tumor in her stomach. And I'm going to get into that too. Now, what else did she do? Waki messed up Baba's PSI. Now, what is a PSI? A PSI is a pre-sentencing investigation report. Okay? Let me explain to you what that is. It's called the Federal Pre-Sentencing Investigation Report. It's the document that's most relied upon by the judge to impose your sentence. Okay? So she went and told the PSI officer, they gave Baba that fake name, Dwight York, and Baba's son Ishmael is in on it too. Okay? I'm going to save him for a rainy day. But I'm telling y'all right now, it's Baba's own family that did this to him. Okay? So Waki tells the pre-sentencing investigation report officer that Baba got all these kids, that Baba suffered from schizophrenia when it's really her. She's the crazy one that takes pills that got schizophrenia. All right? She's freaking crazy, y'all. And my thing is this. All the stuff that Baba did to save their family's life and to make y'all life better the way it is now, and it's the thanks he get. She told the pre-sentence investigation report officers that Baba's name is Dwight D. York. Okay? She's the one who did that. Okay? So now, when the court, the PSI report is presented to the judge and to the courts when they don't know, when they know little about the defendant. So instead of talking about all the good things that Baba did, all the families and lives that he saved, getting letters from the tribe and interviews from the tribe and things from people to get his PSI report right, she made Baba look like a pedophile. She made Baba look like a bigamist, and she said all these derogatory things on Baba's pre-sentencing investigation report. She's the one who did it, y'all. Dale Elaine Brown, Waki. She's a freaking liar and a fraud. All right? And now, let me tell y'all this, too. That's not his sister. And I'm about to break that down. First of all, the letter that the brother Amunuma read to y'all, that was my letter that Baba wrote to me about her not being Baba's DNA sister. So now I'm going to break it down to you from the beginning. Now, Baba came to this country in the 1950s, the late 1950s. He was about 12 years old. Baba and his father were running from the hands of those people in the Sudan that was related to Osama bin Laden. Okay? There was a big war going on because Baba's family, remember, Baba used to tell us all the time, I come from money. I don't need y'all money. I can get publishing bookstores and publishing rights and get them to print my books and sit on millions. But I'm trying to get y'all to work together. I'm trying to give this information to you all because this information is for y'all so y'all can work together. I don't want the Celtics stealing it, doing movies, or they doing it now, or stealing the information and doing history channels like they doing now. You understand? So Baba wanted us to live for, of, and by each other. But Baba comes from a very wealthy family. His father and them got mansions. If you don't believe me, ask Baba's first wife, Fatima Omar Sanusi. Because when she met Baba in a palace. Okay? They are known in the Sudan for being very wealthy. Saeed Sadiq was the prime minister of Sudan. Baba's father and his family had to leave because those Akhil Bey, the Osama bin Laden family was trying to kill them, right? So Baba and his father came to the United States, and that's where they met Sheikh Daoud. Sheikh Daoud's wife was a jazz singer who was best friends with Baba's USA mother, who is Mary York, who's Waki's DNA mother. That's not Baba's DNA mother. That's just a woman that protected him and gave him a safe place. So when they came to the United States, that's why you don't got no records of Baba being in school when he was a child, kindergarten records. You only got records from when he was 12 years old and up. And if I'm lying, tell Waki to produce baby pictures because they're lying to y'all. That's not her brother, okay? So now, when Baba came to the United States, his father and him had to go in hiding. So Sheikh Daoud found the York family in Boston at the time, and that's when Baba met Waki, whose real name is Dale. Her other brother name is Dennis. The other brother name is David. And the other sister name is Deborah. And their youngest sister name is Yolanda. Okay? Yolanda is Ishmael's mother. All right? So now, let me go back. So now, when Baba came up to the United States, when he came here, Sheikh Daoud found the York family, introduced them to them, and Baba was able to blend in and hide with the family. And so they said, well, we need a birth certificate because we got to put him in school. So the mother went and got a birth certificate and didn't have nobody's name on it. It said male child York. And they gave him that name Dwight because all of their names was Dennis, Dale, Deborah, and all of them. They named him Dwight. That was Bob's nickname. But Bob will tell you quick in a minute, that's not my name. And he used to tell us in the Ansar Law community, that's not my mother. He used to say that because they used to say, that's not my real mother. He wouldn't say it in a disrespectful way. He would say it just like a child would say when somebody's saying, that's your mother, you say, no, that's not my mother. He was saying it in that way. He wasn't saying it to disrespect the beloved Mary York, who did her best to protect the child when he came to the United States. I'm not saying this to disrespect her. I'm saying this to tell y'all the truth, that that's not Baba's DNA mother. Baba's mother is African. Baba's mother is from Ghana. And Baba's father is African. And Baba's father is from the Sudan. And Baba told me to tell y'all, you can read the Ratib, the first pages of the Ratib, before it gets into the prayers of the Mahdi. Pieces of blessings of the Most High be upon the Mahdi. Y'all read the first pages of that, and if you read the Holy Tablets, chapter 19, it will explain it all. You'll understand what I'm saying, okay? Because this is what Baba told me, because I said to Baba, well, why y'all kind of look alike? And Baba said it was made to look that way to protect me, because my life would be just like the Messiah. Whereas when they tried to kill him, I would be likened unto the Messiah. You see, but they sent him, Melchizedek, instead, the child, right? So the child had to be protected. And then Baba said they brought him to that family because Waki and them, they're witches. They into witchcraft. And Baba said they brought them to that family so that he would learn to know the type of niggas that he gonna be up against when he's trying to bring and raise the 144,000. He had to be around people like that so that he could learn their ways, and so he won't be fooled, so he won't be guiled, so that niggas won't try to play him. Because remember how people are when they come from Africa, they green. The United States, they got all types of slicksters, niggas selling drugs on the corner, you know, city slickers. So Bob is in Boston, then he went to school in New Jersey, and then he was slowly moved to Bushwick Avenue. But he went through some things, you know what I'm saying? And he met Abby Yaya, and he learned some things. He got locked up. He had, you know, he had to go through regular things that we went through so that he'll be able to bring us up, raise us up, and take us out of the spell of Leviathan, Lawi Tenenu, the evil sex force, demon sex force, because that's how they attack us, through the sex, right? So now, when Baba was raised up in school, he said he used to talk funny when he was in school, and then when he started winning games in soccer, playing soccer, what they call football in Africa. Baba said football, but I thought he meant football. He said, no, we call it football because you hit the ball with your foot. That's what they call it in Africa. So Baba was raised, and when Baba went to New Jersey with his aunt, Diane Fletcher, that's when he went to school, and he became famous, and everybody started liking him. He said, but at first, they used to make fun of him because he talked funny. So then Sheikh Daoud protected Baba, raised him up. You understand what I'm saying? And then that's when Baba learned a lot about their family, about Waki and them. But that's not his DNA family. He'll say that's my sister because imagine if you was a child and you was raised up with a family and your brothers and sisters, and they tell everybody, this my brother, you're going to say that's my sister. But that's not your biological DNA sister. In fact, they're the Yorks that they talk about, that Baba talks about in El's Holy and Jill, that went to war with the Lancasters and with the Yorks and the Lancasters. They had some type of war, and Baba said if you watch the movie called
The
The
War of the
War of the
Roses.
Roses, right, he talks about that. That's who they are. They are a descendant from those Yorks. They're not a descendant of the Yorks from Baba with Ben York. They're not descendants of them. So I know y'all gonna be like, yeah, well, on Tamaray, Baba said, you know, that's his mother and that's his family, right? Because we had to come out of the veils because Al-Islam was going to be infiltrated with a lot of terrorism. So we had to come out of that. So Baba changed his name to Dr. Malachi'S York and said, I'm going to South. And guess what? I'm a cowboy now. We cowboys. You and Indians. Okay? And we went down in the land, and Baba said, come up out of that, out of them garbs, come up out of that way because we are in danger. And Baba's like, I got people Baba said, I got families and children, men, women, and children's lives in my hands, and I got to think ahead of the game. So what Baba did was change his name from Isa El-Hadi El-Mahdi, went and transferred his name to Dr. Malachi'S York, moved to the South, and now he said, I'm Dr. York. Yeah, say I'm this. Call me Dr. York, but you're not going to affiliate me with Al Islam and have niggas bombing us and doing stuff to hurt us. So that's how that happened. That's how that transfer happened. And Baba would say that because remember, when Baba's teaching and he's sitting down and they had an open forum for everybody to come from all parts of the world, you best to believe the FBI was there. You best believe the CIA was there. You best believe there were people that wanted to assassinate Baba, including Mario, who could sit up there and pretend he got this deep connection with the master teacher. That nigga wanted to hurt Baba. He wanted to assassinate him. Ask the brother, Mental Hotep, and the brothers that was the guards on Tamaray. Mario never had reverence for the master teacher. So he could sit up there with his Facebook page and his other pages with all these goddamn pictures, so many pictures of Bob and aliens, and he's so freaking Wusabat. That nigga's a fraud, okay? So now, back to this fake freaking Claire mother and her plots against Baba. Now, I want y'all to say this, right? Answer this question. What has she ever done to help anybody do anything for Baba in his legal? All the work I put in for the master teacher, she claimed that that's her brother, but I never received a dime from Waki. All that money she collected from them sisters, and she knew, because every time she went up there, Baba said, she's doing it, sis. She's doing it, sis. She's working to get me out of there, sis. And he would tell him, when I come home, she coming with me. Ask them. Ask them to show you the letters, because Dana know about it. The Babset knows about it. Nawal knows about it. They all know that. But they'll sit there and pretend that I don't mean anything because they don't want y'all to help me because they know that I know the truth about who they are. Because I tell them to their face. Like I called her before a couple of years ago and said, pick up this goddamn phone. You and your daughter doing witchcraft. Y'all lighting candles on me. Y'all go in the graveyard, throwing my stuff in the dirt. Now look at them. So all of you niggas who want to keep continuing practicing witchcraft, thinking you're going to do something to me, I'm telling you right now, you don't want this smoke. Because right now, I'm getting ready to send my angels to protect me. Any of y'all do anything to me, you going to get it. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you something, because see, I'm going to tell you what. You get in your car every day, and you drive every day, and you think you freaking safe. Get in your car now. Do something to me, and I dare you to get in your car. I dare you. Light another candle, burn another whatever, cut another chicken, and I dare you to get in your car. I dare you. Now, like I said, I'm tired of these niggas, y'all. Y'all don't understand what it is. All right? Yes, I'm going to bring Baba home. He's going to get out, but y'all got to work with me because these niggas is a fraud. She's not Baba's DNA sister. All right? He's not related to him, and ain't none of Baba's blood running through her veins. Tell her to do a blood test. All right? That's not Baba's sister. Baba was raised up in that family, and Baba had a child with their youngest sister, Yolanda, and that's Ishmael's mother, okay? Ishmael's mother is Waki's youngest sister, Yolanda, and that's who Baba had a child with her. So how was that her family? How was that her family? They're not related in no way, form, or fashion. Look at her nose. She has a snout nose. Look at her brother Obar, and I'm going to tell you what she do too. When you go in her house, she got a picture of her, Bob, and Obar in a frame in the corner. And she got strategically put a certain kind of way, so when you walk in there, you can see it. Then she got another picture of her with Baba when he was on Tamaray with a green, with a long green garb on robe, green and white robe on, with his target on. Baba looked real nice on Kadesh, and you see her grabbing Baba's hands with the crowd of people walking with Baba. See, she strategically puts pictures up certain kind of way. Tell her to produce a baby picture. If that's your freaking brother, and you claiming that that's your DNA brother, produce a picture. He's not your brother. Look at how she acts. Look at how she treats people. Look at how she talks. Look at her now. She's sick. She always falling, breaking something. But that's your brother. You broke your leg. You broke your back, your neck, your back, your coochie, and your crack. I blew your spot up, and Baba knows about it, and he still ain't tell me to shut up. All right? Because that's the only person that could quiet me down is the master teacher. And he told me, shut down the lies, Papa Jet. Shut them down. Tell the family that that money rightfully belongs to you because they've done nothing for me in all these years. Nothing has changed for me. All the changes that took place in that prison was my work, my blood, sweat, and tears, my traveling back and forth to D.C., my traveling to meet with Congressman John Conyers and Hank Johnson and their community outreach director, Yolanda Lipsy, and all of them. Not them. They've done nothing. I got pictures. My next call is going to be in 2 weeks from now because I got work to do. I'm going to make sure that the brother Sakim and the brother Demir has copies of these pictures, and because pictures don't lie. I got pictures of me with Ambassador Nathaniel Barnes. I got pictures of me, several pictures with me and Congressman Hank Johnson, his community outreach director, Mr. Eric C. Hubbard. I got pictures of me with Yolanda Lipsy, with Congressman John Conyers, when he had the 11th Circuit under investigation, when the Democratic Council, Michelle Melvin from Washington, D.C. in the Rayburn building was investigating the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. I did that, not them. And I didn't do it because I wanted recognition from the tribe. I did it because I loved him as a teacher, and he asked me to get involved and not sit back and let this happen to him. And I did. And now it's time for me to shut down the lies so y'all can understand who these people are. Waki, Dale Elaine Brown, the AKA the clan mother, is a devil, and she's a witch. They practice witchcraft. She's the head witch. They did rituals. They did snake, tongue, and coffin ritual, and they put all the Bible's stuff. Oh, hold on. Let me stand up for this one. I got to tell y'all this. Check this out, family. Let me tell you what they did. When Baba got locked up, as soon as he got locked up, Waki and a few other people got a coffin, right? She was dating a mortician at the time. And they got a coffin and they put all the Baba's stuff in the coffin. And I said this before, but unfortunately, Amanuma shut down his channel. That's still my brother. I'm not against him. I don't want y'all thinking we fell out or nothing. We talk. We still talk. That's my brother. All right? He just chooses to do what he want to do. And that's his platform. He can do that. So, where one door closes, another open. So now these brothers are opening up the platform for y'all to know the truth, but to shut down the liars. So I can get this all off my chest, so y'all could get this information, and you could do what you want to do with it. Okay? You decipher from what's real, from what's fake, from what I'm telling you, because I have no reason to lie on anybody in this tribe. I'm not going to gain anything from doing that. That's not my style. Okay? I'm about the truth. I'm about Wu Sabat, and I'm about walking in the truth, and I'm about doing my job for the master teacher. Now, check this out. They got a coffin, right? And Waki was dating a mortician. And like I said, this was up on another channel before, but the brother took it down. And they stood around and did some kind of ritual where they put Baba's clothes in there. They put Baba's jewelry in there. They put all types of disgusting crap inside of this coffin. It wasn't a very large coffin. It was like a coffin for a child. It was white. Okay? Now, I promised one of the people that knew about this or that participated in it that I would not reveal their name, and I won't. But maybe one day I might get pissed off and go against my word, but I'm not. All right? And they put all of Baba's stuff in there, and they sealed it and buried it 6 feet under. You see? They buried it. And this ritual was done so that when somebody like me or anybody tries to step up to work to help Baba get out, all types of stuff would start to happen. So that when you try to explain to somebody what took place, they won't believe you. Just like when I was at the Rayburn building and I told that Democratic Council about Judge Charles Ashley Roy who's having court Martin Luther King's birthday, he didn't believe me. Then there was a lawyer that I knew that's a Supreme Court judge now. I went to his office to talk to him. Couldn't believe they let that grimy man become a judge. And he didn't want to talk no more. He was like, I don't believe it. He didn't want to believe me. And I said, damn, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, I got the paperwork showing them, and they just keep walking away. Because, see, listen, y'all, these are witches. This is witchcraft, and they are doing spells. All right? Now, if I'm lying, why is Baba mentioning it in our doctrine? Baba even mentioned it in a recent book called The Serpent about Tahuti. What he said that those Nephilians did, they came down and they taught them arts, witchcraft, and dealing with the roots and herbs and stuff, right? These freaking warlocks and these witches. And that was given to them, the master teacher said, to control them. And then they turned around and used it against us. But there are witches, and Waki is the head witch of them all. And whatever she says, they do it. And like I said about that movie, The Omen, they protecting her. All them niggas that you see around her, they are witches too. Robbie is a witch. Joe is a warlock. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. After they did that ritual and they buried that, right? I don't know when or off on time they did it. Hagar York's own daughter is a part of it too. She went to the elder who had the farm area in the land and asked her for a billy goat. Okay? These niggas want to cut chickens, cut animals, make sacrifices, and that's why their lives is messed up. I'm telling you right now. That's why their lives is messed up and they got all this stuff going on in their life. And y'all can sit up there and act like, oh, her life is good. It's not. She got a big, nasty tumor inside of her. And Baba said tumors are living entities. He said they have teeth, they have a mouth, they have eyes, they have ears, and they eat and live inside of you. All right? You don't believe me? Look it up on, go Google tumors. If say put tumors that have teeth, and they'll show you these things that they take out of these people. They look like little monstrous demons. Some of them even grow hair on them. And she got a tumor right now that she got inside of her. Okay? And if you stand close to her, her breath freaking stinks. Now, another thing that her and her freaking daughter did was they did another ritual in South Carolina. Now, my thing, I know I keep saying this and repeating myself, but I have to. Because guess what? Y'all acting like what I'm saying ain't real. You niggas know y'all was on the land in South Carolina and y'all saw them light a fire. Y'all heard them animals screaming. And y'all saw people walking around a fire in black robes. Don't sit up here and act like I'm making this up. Why did they do that? I'm going to tell you what they did. Fatima York, and she, like I said, she made these moves because her mother told her to do this. Fatima York did that ritual in South Carolina, okay? And me and the brother Demir was talking about that because the brother, I'm telling you, that the brother Demir is smart. He know a lot, y'all. I was shocked with the information that he knows and the stuff that he told me. I was like, oh my God, this is blowing my mind. It's a whole lot of stuff that y'all don't know. But we're gonna make sure that y'all get this information and y'all find out. Because I don't know about that. What's the name of that brother again, Demir? With the that had on the makeup, that Indian dude
Siku
that was
Gentle.
at the tone ceremony?
Siku Gentle.
Siku Gentle. Him. He went to jail that night. I don't know if y'all remember, he got locked up and then it started raining. I wasn't there, but there were members of the tribe that told me. And another thing was, when Fatima York did that ritual, there were other things that she was supposed to do that she didn't. You see? She didn't complete it. And so that's why she's in the situation that she in now. And I think that's one of the reasons why that brother that was with her, his son Satin died. Because his son got into a serious car accident where another car just smashed and killed him right away. I mean, y'all niggas ain't seeing this. Y'all acting like y'all blind with all these people that are dying in the tribe, having balloon ceremonies. Sit back and ask yourself why. Why are specific individuals having death? Like, for instance, Hagar York's sister and father are not here anymore, right? But what they did when Baba got locked up was they came up with a motion to file to have Baba give them $1 billion. They filed $1 billion lawsuit because, see, they didn't know where the money was, but they thought Baba was that they was gonna somehow be able to file a lawsuit and get all this money from Baba. And Baba sent me the paperwork, and I saw the name Radia. I thought it was his wife, Radia, who used to live in a community who has 3 children with him, right? I thought it was her. I said, Radia, and then Muhammad, And then I asked him, somebody said, no, that's Hagar York's sister. I said, oh, well, what she got to do? I said, oh, wow. I said, wow, they didn't even let Baba. Baba wasn't even in jail 24 hours before them niggas. Soon as they locked Baba up, they went straight to get a lawyer and filed some motion to get $1 billion. Her and the father was down with it. Guess what happened? Hagar York's sister got shot in the face and got shot in the neck, and she was in her Mercedes, in her car, in Orlando, Florida, right down the block from where I live. All right? And I seen it on the news, and I was like, damn, man, they bugging out here. Find out it was Hajar's sister. What happened after that? Her father died. Hagar York's sister's father died. And now they're together. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, what's the coincidence that Abigail's son commits suicide? That's her. I know that's Baba's son too, but she carried that baby in her womb. That's her son. Y'all are mothers. Y'all know how I feel to have a child connected to you.
Right.
And Lil committed suicide. Why? Because of what Abigail did. Listen, Baba is a pharaoh, and y'all could think this ain't real or not. I don't give a damn. But you ain't gonna do nothing to the master teacher. And he's a living pharaoh, any pharaoh,
That's right.
here or not here, and do something to him and think you just gonna walk this planet. And these are masters that created you all in their image and after their likeness. And you think they're just gonna walk by and let y'all just do whatever? I don't think so. Okay? Y'all niggas is dropping like flies because you did wrong. Okay? And you need to come clean with the tribe and ask the ancestors to forgive you, or else it's going to get worse. They're going to snatch your life like it ain't nothing. And I'm going to tell you something too. I feel bad because some of these children, I love children. You understand?
Right.
And so Fatima York did that ritual and she didn't complete it. And a lot of y'all got sick after that. A lot of y'all lives got messed up. A lot of y'all had all these bad things happening and you're wondering why. Why? Because you was walking around a bonfire with Fatima York conjuring up the demon Sam Hain. You don't believe that it's real? Read the book called The Freak and the Perfect Creature. Because Baba wrote a book about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed y'all them doing a bonfire. And you know what Baba said? Baba said they just refused to worship, like Akhenaten's time, they just refused to worship the Most High.
Right. That's right.
So you got these niggas in this tribe that don't even live our way. They don't study our doctrine. They don't walk with us. And what they doing? Trying to be leaders and lead us into eternal damnation with their raggedy maggot asses. And y'all niggas is following them. Why? Oh, that's Baba's niece. That's Baba's sister. That's it. Tell them niggas to show you what they did since he's been in there other than ask you for money all day. Collecting money. Western Union is this and that. I saw Fatima collect the money at Western Union when me and Saada was down there with Zanisha. And I looked at her and I said, look at her collecting money and she ain't even doing shit. And she was real happy too. I don't know who it was that sent her that money. And she didn't want us coming in there. She went in there and collected money when we was in D.C. Got niggas thinking that she working with me. She ain't never worked with me. And then they tell y'all, oh, Tabajek cursed so-and-so out. Tabajek, let me tell y'all something. I'm a very cordial woman. And I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to Baba's work, I know how to present myself. I know how to dress. I know how to talk. I know how to walk. I know how to act. I know what to say. I'm smart. I study. I read. I got a gift of all trades, sweetheart. So don't sit up here and try to act like I sat in front of members of Congress and cursed them out. Why would they still be talking to me? Why would Baba tell me to meet with Congressman Hank Johnson if I cursed him out? I don't talk like that. All right? Sakina and Tucker went lying to Baba saying I cursed him out. They say that because of how I am with me fighting for Baba. But we family. I'm talking to y'all. I'm not out there in the world with attorneys and lawyers having conversations with them like that. I got tapes, recorded tapes with lawyers telling Baba that I'm doing a lot of hard work for him. I don't carry myself that way. I was raised by both my parents. My mother taught me how to behave in front of old and elderly people and how to conduct myself.
Right.
And there were people that strangers that my mother said, if my daughter get out of line, yeah, you smack that tail for me. I was raised by I come from a strict environment. Don't get it twisted. I'm just upset about all this garbage that could be dealing with devils. We dealing with demons from the lower realm. And some of them got housed, spirits inside of their bodies. And y'all thinking that they want Bible home and they don't. Think about it. Who is the master teacher? Let's just think about that for a moment. And then that'll tell you what we're dealing with. He's not the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's not Noble Drew Ali. He's not Malcolm X. He's not Dr. Martin Luther King. He's not Malik Shabazz. Come on, y'all. Who are we dealing with? We dealing with the real man of the hour. So who do you think we fighting against? We fighting against principalities and wickedness in high places, and they are in our tribe, and they are in his family. And Baba said it in the prayer of Amun that I gave to the brother Amun Numa, and let me read a part of it for you right now. These are not my words. These are the master teaching words. He said, I'm not going to read the whole thing. He said, hear me, day and shadow hours, because they that seek to do me harm go about this world of the flesh and the world of spirits in their mischief to cause me sorrow and pain. You heard what he said? He said, in the world of spirit. That means spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right.
And wickedness is what they do. And many are in my midst with much deceit in God. I mean them no harm, for that is not my way. I only depart from them in their ways. For it was the enemy that reapproached me of my own race and family. Neither was it Pahika Kasutu or his own. No, he used those that I trusted, those close to me. I did not know how much they hated me and how much that it did magnify inside them, and how they let the Canaanites use them against me. It was my own, those close, my own people, my own acquaintances, every family of my own. We used to eat together, walk together, pray together. For my way of life did they turn against me. For our own culture did they betray me. They have given over to another's ways, another's law, another's religion, another's culture in place of our own. I had done not wrong in our world. I have hurt none in our culture. I have abused no one in our way of life. Yet for my love, they deliver me to die. That's coming from Baba. He wrote these words in prison. So don't sit up here and tell me that I'm making it up and that I'm lying and that I'm pretending this and that. These are facts, all right, about what happened in the rituals, and y'all were all there. And y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself to leave Baba in there knowing that he gave his life for us. Mm-hmm. We all should be sacrificing our life so that Baba could come home. This is sad what y'all did to him, man. This is sad.
That's right.
Okay? Fatima York is sick in the head. They're all sick, man. They all got mental problems. Because ain't nobody in their right mind going to try to work with the government to put your own race in prison and stop your own people from progressing.
Right.
Y'all better be careful who y'all dealing with, because I'm telling you right now who Waki is. She ain't Baba's DNA sister. And I just read the prayer to y'all with what he said. He said it was his own people. They doing fire rituals. Now, since we got this thing about rituals up, let me bring something to y'all attention. Now, and I'm saying this because I love children. You understand? And there's a sister named Marilyn. She goes by the name of Bakita. She also got the name Sobek Nafril Ankh. Now, if y'all don't know this, me and Iris was pretty close back in Athens, right? She would take anybody anywhere they had to go with her car. You understand? Only thing I didn't like about Iris is the fact that anytime somebody had a title or name, she would suck up to him. I didn't like that. I'm like, so what? Who gives a damn? You know, respect is earned. I got to respect you because you got a title, or do I respect you because it's what you bring to the table? You show us some kind of love and some kind of respect. You understand? And like I said, I tried working with these niggas. Yo, Baba put me with them. Get with this one. Get with that one. I need you to get with Nico. Get with so-and-so. Get this from Rick. Get with my sister. Get this with Fatima York. Let Fatima in, Papa Jack. If you don't let her in, Baba wanted me to do this. And now I know why. Because I didn't understand. I was like, these niggas don't even want you home. Like, they playing with your life. You want me to work with them? Let me tell you about this thing that happened. And I'm bringing it up because I care. Now, the sister Bakita, Iris told me, because I wasn't on Tamaray, that when they was on the land and they raided the land, that they all had guns to them, had them on the floor, right? And they walked over to Bakita, a.k.a. Sobekna Fru Ankh, a.k.a. Marilyn. They went up to her and told her she can leave. So I'm looking at Iris, and I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm saying, well, why's she telling me this? She said, I'm just letting you know, everybody that try to play all that innocent, because she talk, Rahul Bajasar, welcome to another Patarak reading. So Bekna Fru Ankh, Rahul Baj, yes, Baba. She talk all innocent and sweet. She's a freaking devil. She's a part of this too. And she always be, now all of a sudden I'm finding out that she hanging out with Waki. Why she always over there with her? Okay? They scared they don't want Baba coming home. And then Needful, right? A.k.a. Bastet came back from a visit one day and said Pops wanted to know how come Bakita, a.k.a. Sobekna Fru a.k.a. Marilyn, didn't get on the stand for him. Now that I told you that for a reason. I need to tell you this, okay? Now, she has a granddaughter. Well, she has a daughter named Radia. I think that's her daughter's name. Her daughter and Abigail was best friends. And she told me this out of her own mouth, Bakita, that when this was happening to Baba, all them kids, all of them young adults, because they wasn't children, they was all in her house with her daughter, because Bakita lived on Bushwick Avenue. Her daughter was a Mu'minati with Abigail in them, so they all grew up together. Because I kept trying to put the pieces of the story together. I said, why is this girl's grandchildren dying? So first it was her daughter, beautiful, chocolate, pretty little girl, right? 20 years old, going to graduate, all of a sudden got cancer. And I ain't going to lie, when I heard she was sick, I prayed. I said, please, Father, not her, man. I love this little girl. She's so pretty. But eventually, she left, right? She's not here anymore. Then 2 years later, her other grandson, which is the girl Radia, Abigail's best friend, right? Her son comes home from school, takes a firearm, puts it to his head with his knapsack still on his back, and blows his head off or kills himself. And then I personally think, because I had a dream, that he died when he was at the hospital. It wasn't the bullet wound. They probably could have saved him, but he's not here anymore. Why, y'all? Why are innocent children being gone, taken out from our midst? What are their parents doing? Somebody in their family got something to do with this. I'm telling you what I know. Wow. Because the people that I do know that died were some evil niggas. But see, I don't know that sister, but I know Bakita, and I remember what Bakita told me, and I put two and two together. I said, the Bible always said there's no such thing as a coincidence. How is it that Abigail's son committed suicide, and now her son, her best friend, who opened up her doors where they could all scheme on Baba, her son committed suicide, and then before that, her daughter died too? Nah, y'all, something up with this. I'm telling y'all better start watching these niggas and how they moving and what they doing, and who claiming that they got this love for Baba wearing the garb, but behind closed doors, they are part of the scheme of things.
That's right.
They are part of this. Wow. Something is going on, because I'm going to tell you how the Natharu move. They don't care. The sins of the parents fall onto the children, even unto the fourth generation. Yeah. Baba taught me that when I worked in his office. He used to say, stop taking, he said, stop taking vengeance in your own hands. He said, don't worry, leave them alone. They'll get theirs. They'll get theirs. Right. They'll get theirs. He used to say that to me all the time. And I said, yeah, you're right. He looked at me and started laughing, like, because I'm the type of person that when people cross that line with me, I'm ready to smack the piss out of you. All right? Not only that, I'm ready to mollywop you. I'm ready to mollywop your behind across the floor. Because some of these people need their ass with some of these people in this trial. And so, I can't put my hands on you, then I'm going to use my mouth. And I'm going to let the family know who and what you really are. Y'all are frauds. Y'all are liars. Y'all are thieves. Y'all set Baba up, and he is in there because Waki, Fatima York, Kedar, Jacob, Abigail, all them people, all their friends, and all of them was a part of this conspiracy, and they're hoping that Baba don't ever get out of here because they know how Baba is. But I'm going to tell y'all this. He coming home. They can't do this. Our ancestors are not going to let this continue to go on.
Right.
You understand? And they're using me. Why? Because I love them. Why? Because I'm not from here. Why? Because that's my etheric blood in there. We are all etherically connected to the master. Those of you that have a great love for him, I don't care if you never met him before. You are etherically connected because like the brother was telling me earlier today, them niggas ain't give a damn. Where they at? Where all his friends and family at and all the people that he reigned with on Tamaray? There was only 13 people in the conspiracy of Dr. Malachi'S York case, meaning the witnesses. It was only 13 of them. Right. You mean to tell me y'all let 13 stupid ass young men and women get on the stand in country Georgia and lie on Baba, and he's still in there for 21 years? I'm telling y'all now, his family is behind him.
That's an interesting number too.
Y'all can't, huh?
That number 13 that's an interesting number too. 13.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I'm telling y'all now, y'all better get on board. Y'all better help me. The brother put my Cash App, $ Tabby J. He put my PayPal is ashantizulu@gmail.com. Y'all need to contact me. Y'all can reach out to me. I don't care where you are. We got to come together. Don't leave Baba in here like this. I'm telling you right now, I'm young. Yeah, I'm in my 50s, but I look good. Okay? I could be doing other things with my time. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to play y'all for no freaking money. 25 grand, that ain't no money to me. That's not no money. Compared to the lawyers, let me tell y'all something. Help me understand this. And then I'm going to end this call. End what I got to say. How y'all meet attorney, right? And I'm going to use myself as an example. And I got the recording if y'all want to hear it, okay? I got an attorney from the Brown Store Law Firm. I invited everybody that was participating down. The brother Taharka from Trinidad sent me $4 grand. The brother Tepi Amun, who talk with the raspy voice, we call him Hootit, Abdul Bias, he put in about $6 grand or whatever. The brother Sincere Ray, I invited everybody down. I let Sia Ahmed and her mate stay in my house while I stayed in Rented House because they couldn't afford a hotel. And I told them niggas, look, you in my home, respect my home, don't have sex in my home. If that's the case, y'all niggas can go to a hotel. Did they respect my wishes? No. But guess what I did? After they left, I moved to an upstairs apartment. Not gonna be in no house with no Lawi Tenanu sex forces around me and my deity. So I moved. Okay? And niggas can't respect. You try to be nice to people and show respect and be honorable and respectful. You can't do it with these niggas because they always crossing the damn line. You know? So I invite them to my house. I stayed at Rimpet Chestis out in that house, who by the way is a witch. Right? I'll tell y'all that later. And Tia Ahmed and Hawk is a witch too. I'll tell all that. I'll tell y'all all about them later. I'm gonna name all the witches. Not now. My next call. I'm gonna name them all. And I'm gonna tell y'all I got proof because I was around them. Okay? You'll be surprised how many witches is in this tribe. So now, I invite all these members of the tribe down. We all came together, and I gave up my money, and we all counted $17,000 for the attorney. They wanted $35,000. And I did it in front of everybody. And I shared the recordings when I spoke with Baba with them. I tried to be a family with these niggas. And you know what they did? They turned on me. One brother was trying to get in my bed. Another brother was trying to get in my bed. The other brother was slandering me. You know what I'm saying? After I did all that hard work for Baba, y'all a bunch of niggas. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that I'm stealing money or I'm a thief, because I got to take for all of y'all who want to hear it. When I invited them all down and we counted and Baba was there and he was so happy that we all came together. I made that happen. I did not discriminate. I didn't mistreat people. We went and we ate together. They thanked me and now they're all gone. You understand? You see how they move? Look how quick they give up. They know I'm not no thief. Them niggas could tell you. I worked hard for Baba for years, traveling back and forth, coming here, deal, doing this, doing that, writing this letter, typing up that, getting with this attorney, getting with that lawyer, getting with this Democratic counsel, getting with this congressman, getting with this lady. And all them niggas did was sabotage what I did.
You know what,
all right?
Tabby Jet?
So now,
You know what? You
huh?
should do a where are they now, and go and start with every last person that has been involved in the case, starting from the beginning, and you notice how they all fell off, and we could go name by name and do a where are they now. You know what I'm saying? And where are they when they would say things like failure is not an option. You know what I mean? And then as soon as the appeal process was exhausted in their mind, they was gone. Where are they now?
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they did their job and then they left. And then they sit back and let some old funny looking look at Mr. Bundy with his nasty looking behind. He looked nasty. I called him the one time. Baba told me to get in contact with him. He was coughing. He had phlegm all in his chest, all disgusting, all that mucus all in his body. He don't even walk with us. And y'all sit up here letting this nigga talk about me?
He
Y'all better
doesn't,
check these
practice
brothers
our
when they
way.
come up and they start coming. Look, because I put my life on the line for Baba. Y'all better start checking these brothers, man. Because guess what? If that was you and I was on the other side, I wouldn't let people do that to y'all. Y'all just let this nigga just slander my name, talk about me, but y'all don't got shit to say about Chuck Morgan. Or Rick, who used to walk with us. Why he ain't talking about that? That nigga was there with the 2255. I saw him in the office with attorney Lattimore, whatever his goddamn name is, and Malik Zulu Shabazz, and all the money they stole from this trial. Y'all don't say nothing about them. Help me overstand that, man. The spell, I'm telling y'all, Lawi Tenenu, Pashalil, how you say, Pashalil Nawam, the spell of sleep is deep. Y'all got to wake up. I don't know what y'all got to do, but y'all got to wake up your mind and realize what's real from what's fake. Because I am as real as it gets. I'm sacrificing my life. Y'all got to help me. Okay? Y'all got to work with me. You own, yeah. I know I made the statements before, but I didn't know that these niggas was doing witchcraft for me. Sakina, did y'all know that Sakina and Tucker is Dominican? Look it up. Dominicans do voodoo. Sakina and Tucker is cutting up chickens, and they did a ritual on me. But like I said, I dare you to get in your car again. I dare you. Because my prayers is going up and they're being answered. I dare you to get in your car, nigga. Get in your freaking car again. You freaking devil. You don't even walk with us, Tucker. Standing up there filming you at the African whatever. Who's up there scheming with Sakina. Sakina gonna take y'all niggas to hell with her. Because Baba said she got it coming. And I'm gonna save her for another day. But I just wanted to let y'all know who that clan mother was. Let y'all know that she spearheaded this whole thing with Baba being incarcerated. All right? She's behind him being locked up. She's behind all the rituals and all the evilness that's taking place because she wants to be the one in charge. She wants to be the leader. She wants to be Melchizedeka. Okay?
Right.
So that's what this whole scam is all about. So I'm done, brother. If there's anything that you need to say to the family.
Only thing I was gonna mention was just kind of touched on something you were saying earlier. I was telling people before, and they was like, I was telling people before. My mic is on. I was telling people before that that I asked the question. I said, "When the Wapians handed over to the Luciferians, right?" And I asked that question because the master teacher was telling us that for those of us that did not break the spell, that we would be handed over to the Luciferians, right? And that's back when we were called Nuwapians, right? And then if you go back and you listen to the Isle of Patmos CDs, you'll hear the master teacher say that the only Nuwapian part of our tribe was the Freemasonic Lodge. Did people know that? Did people catch that when he said that?
Say that again?
He said that the only Nuwapian part of our tribe was the Freemasonic Lodge. And then go back. Don't believe me? Check it out. Go back and listen to the Isle of Patmos CDs, because it's like a lot of little things in there that people didn't catch that he was saying. He said the
Right,
only.
but what would, how, I don't get what that
Remember,
means.
I'm telling you. Go. Okay. 3 books came out: Luciferian Conspiracy, right? Are There Black Devils, and Let's Set the Record Straight. People got to read that Luciferian Conspiracy thoroughly. And remember, within that scroll, he's talking about witches and warlocks, right? But he's talking about the Luciferian, when he talks about the Luciferian Conspiracy, he starts talking about Freemasonry and how the Luciferians infiltrated Freemasonry. And he starts talking about the Alberta Lodge out of Canada, right? And then he starts, okay, so he's talking about, there's a tape where he tells us, he said, you better watch them brothers that try to take you into the light. They are not right. He said, you better put up a fight, right? He always talked to us about not being blinded by the light, not going into the light of Freemasonry. When he talked about us crossing the hot burning sands, right? He said not to fall behind. He said, and definitely don't fall off, or you'll be lost in the blinding light, never to return, right? And remember, I was reading to you in the Black Book where he talked about how he would guide us step by step out of the sun. Remember we read that? We was off air when I was reading that to you in the Black Book. Then he starts to talk about explaining that we are behind the 9 ball, and he said, get from behind the 9 ball. But when he described the 9 ball, he describes it. He starts talking about the circle and the square, or the compass and the square. He even talks to you about the G in the Black Book. But he says you guys are behind the 9 ball, and that if you do not keep up, you'll be lost in the blinding light. Right? That's all alluding back to Freemasonry. Okay, and then he says that if we did not break the spell, we would have that we would be, for those that did not break the spell, would be handed over to the Luciferians, right? Then you notice in the year 2000, the lodge started. Matter of fact, it started out as the Nawapian Lodge, right? So in the Isle of Patmos CDs, he says that the only Nawapian part of our tribe is the Freemasonic Lodge. We are not Nawapians anymore. We are Sabaeans. The only Nawapian part of our tribe is the Freemasonic Lodge. Go back and listen to it. A lot of people didn't catch that.
With all these witches and the stuff that they did, I know they're gonna get this, and I'm happy that it's almost over, because I could feel it. You know, I could feel that it's almost over, and I just want the family to support me, please. You know, I want y'all to just trust that what I'm saying is real, and help me so we could bring Baba home, because that we'll all come together and we'll stop this. You know, y'all get away from them, keep your children away from them, most of all. You know, and y'all know that this is real. And you know, Baba said this a long time ago to this sister who was best friends with me, and I haven't seen her in a long time. She said that she was on a land one day, she's with a group of sisters, and Baba looked at her. She felt somebody staring at her. When she looked up, it was Baba, and he told her to come in. She said he didn't even make no gestures or nothing. She said he looked at her and like told her in her mind to come in, and she went over there. And when she went over there, Baba said, you know, sometimes you could be walking with a crowd of people whose destination is hell. So you have to be careful. He said if a fireball is coming out the sky with somebody's name on it and you standing next to them, don't you think you're going to get burnt? And she said she was so scared. She said it was just the sound of his voice and the tone. She said she never hung out with those sisters again. She just started walking alone. So it's like y'all got to be careful, because some of these people that y'all around that y'all think love Bob and got this great love for him, they full of it, man. And they'll use their letters. They'll use, you know, she got that store, Waki got that store for money. She don't read them books. She don't study our way of life.
Right.
I sent you a picture of her that she took with Duswa. You know this nigga molested that girl's daughter. She used to come here. Y'all used to go up on the visits together. You know what he did. You know that this dude is sick in the head. Yo, you know that he beats women and things that he did. And you sitting up there posing with this nigga, taking a picture with him. You don't got no respect for your own race of women. You don't care. It's sad, man. It's sad.
Right.
It's a sad time that we living in, you know. And these people are up against evil, satanic forces, and they need to just put on the armor of the Most High, keep your faces in the book. And another thing I wanted to correct too, that someone was saying, the language keep changing. This is that. They got this letter in the language now, and this and that. But I want to say this. One thing that I can say is that all of the books is written by the master teacher. They'll tell you that it's not, but it is. And another thing I want to say is, Baba said there's a protection on the scriptures that's coming from Orion. This is the holy scrolls that's coming down to us, right? To help raise souls. And that one thing that the devil cannot do is they can't touch the truth. So they're not gonna switch up the words and do that intentionally. That's Baba doing that for a reason. He said because he wants us to get the language, and we're not gonna be able to get it if he doesn't switch it up on us like that. So that way, he said it does something to the brain when it comes to the language. So y'all have to understand it's coming from a master. But some people don't want to get with it, and you could do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, I'm your sister. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. The one thing that Nabat said is doing is she's holding on certain information. There's certain things that's in the doctrine that exposes them. They won't print them. But the stuff that they do print and the language, it is coming from the master teacher. But I would advise y'all not to argue. And if you're on a online class with somebody and they're arguing about, I would just hang up. Like, don't get caught up in that. Because Baba said that Dr. Thompson, because many years ago when I went to meet up with Dr. Thompson in Monticello, Georgia, when I got to Athens to get the document that I needed from him that exposed Judge Royals, I wrote Baba and was like, what's wrong with him? Like, he a doctor, he looked like a zombie. And Baba said that he got his soul snatched through the internet from the Bodhi twins. So y'all better be careful. Y'all on the internet with people. Some of these people in this tribe ain't human. Some of them are demon possessed. As a matter of fact, why don't you tell them people, y'all online with them, y'all can't see them, tell them to take a picture of their living room so you can see how they living. You know, tell them to take a picture of themselves and their environment so you can see who you talking to and who you on the internet with. Because some of these people, you don't know who they are. And y'all just giving yourselves over to these people without being cautious, you know? So I want y'all to be careful. And I'm done for today. And we're going to have another class in 2 weeks because I got stuff that I have to do. And so the next class will be on the 21st, which is May 21st, if you don't mind.
That's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Okay.
A flyer will come out. I know you'll decide when you want to do the next one. It might be spontaneous. It may be spontaneous, right? I did want to read.
Hopefully on the 20. Yeah, go ahead.
I did want to read this one thing to the family that the master teacher said, and it was in an update, and I don't know if people really caught it, but he said, star constellations take on different shapes. Find the constellation or shape that is needed to free me. And I just thought that was very interesting. He said, star constellations take on different shapes. Find the constellation or shape that is needed to free me. I'll send that entire update to you.
Well, I gotta share something with you too that Baba told me. I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you.
Okay, cool. And I wanted to say, the only other thing I wanted to say is that one of the biggest reasons why the master teacher still lingers in Florence Admax is because we as a tribe have not broken the spell that the sister was talking about earlier. And if we've got to break that spell, and a lot of that spell is being reinforced through the Freemasonic Lodge. And that's just a fact that the blinding, that when the lights came on, that's when all the chaos began. And that started in the year 2000. Light is blinding. You know, we have been.
So what's the purpose of the lodge then and the OES? Because that's all satanic. Like if you look at the OES symbol, that's an inverted.
It's the nine.
That's the Baphomet symbol.
Go back, like I said, go back and read the Black Book. The master teacher explained. He said he holds the key from 1 to 9, right? He's traveled 3, 5, 7, right? And then he talks to you about 4, 6, and 8, which is right knowledge, right wisdom, and a right understanding. And he said, and you are behind the 9 ball. And then he talks about getting from behind the 9 ball. We are behind the 9 ball. Notice that them people that's real involved in a so-called Freemasonic Lodge, test them to see if they know their doctrine. Outside of all that Freemasonic stuff. And by the way, what has Freemasonry done that they got so many secrets? What has that done for the freedom of the master teacher over the last 21 years? Nothing. You know, the Freemasons, the Freemasonic Lodge was slandering the Freemasonic institutions was slandering the master teacher, and they even said, you never know, it may have been a Freemason that made the first call. And one of the brothers that said that, he died last year. These brothers was attacking the master teacher. They in the summer of 2001, they did a debate. A Freemason did a debate with the master teacher that they published. Right, he was part of this organization that we won't even name right now. And one of the brothers in his organization that was a huge slanderer of the master teacher passed away last year. But the Freemasonic Lodge did everything in their power to infiltrate our organization. And that's why the master teacher said that the only part of our tribe that is Nuwapian is the Freemasonic Lodge. We are Sabaeans. And I keep saying it. They are blinding our tribe with the blinding light of the lodge. They're blinding our tribe from the facts, the reality. Watch they be the main ones that's working against you you working towards the freedom of the master teacher. That'll be the first ones slandering your name, talking about, all you want is the money. They're the main ones slandering you. They're the main ones. If all them Freemasonic brothers in that lodge is so powerful, why don't each one of them have a store? What are they all doing up in New York? What are they all doing on Clubhouse? Get off Clubhouse and go open a store somewhere. Why not? Why don't they have stores open? You know what I'm saying? Because they are not interested in the actual spread of Wu Sabat. They're not interested in opening stores. We should have stores open everywhere. And the first thing the brother say is, well, where's your store? And you don't want to ask that question, because that's going to go down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down, that will truly expose the things they've been doing over the last 21 years. So I think you better put that one in your pocket. And like I said, our tribe, us as our family as a whole have been blinded by the light of Freemasonry. They are those, like she said, the sister said, those are witches and warlocks. Who was Aleister Crowley? Who was Albert Pike? Alan Roberts? What the master teacher said, he said, y'all are replacing. The master teacher said that we were, as a tribe of people, as a community, were replacing the Black Book and AEO with the Freemasonic Lodge and Roberts rules. And he was talking about Alan Roberts. Go look it up. And every time the master teacher closes that lodge down, they find a way to reopen it.
Yeah.
And they have done nothing for the freedom of the master teacher. And here's the main thing. Here's the biggest thing. The master teacher said that the degree of Freemasonry is only one single degree in all of the degrees of the ancient Egyptian order. And people want to hold on to that like it has something deeper than what Wu Sabat has to teach us. And I'm here to tell you that they know nothing about what's actually on the other side of the circle and the square in the etheric realm. They cannot bring any information back from the other side of the etheric realm. And when I say that, I'm talking about thinking outside of persons, places, and things. They know nothing about the Natharu that exists on the etheric side.
Oh, listen. Ask anybody if they have any questions
So Kim?
before we end the class.
Yes.
Well, you've had a few questions coming in on the chat. And Leroy McLean asks, "What does that mean about the constellation?"
Oh, so you asking me that one? Yeah. That's what the teacher put, the master teacher put up there for us to figure out. I will tell you this, that he did say the master teacher does have a book out that he put out years ago called "God Gave the Sign to Jonah," and he talked about Hut, the sign. Remember, because the word for whale is Hut, and he did talk about Hut as, he said that Jonah was not actually in the belly of a whale, that he was actually taken by the Natharu into a star constellation, and he called it Hut. And the sister, in old Ansars will be able to will confirm what I'm telling you. So if you do your research on Hut, right?
Your voice is going in and out.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. The master teacher explained that he said that God gave the sign to Jonah. And he explained to us in a book called God Gave the Sign to Jonah, and other places, that the prophet Jonah was not actually taken into the belly, swallowed by a whale, an actual whale. He was saying that he was actually taken to a star constellation that was in the shape or the form of a whale, called Hut. So but the master teacher said was, and I'll read it again, and it's in an update: star constellations take on different shapes. Find the constellation or shape that is needed to free me. So that's something for us as a tribe to figure out, but we can't figure out if we are being blinded by the light and we're behind the 9-ball and we're not coming together. So first thing we got to do is get over the hurdle of the blinding light, or of the 9-ball. We got to get a step. We got to get ahead of the sun. People keep saying, what does that mean? One step ahead of the sun. The master teacher said that as we cross the hot burning sands, that it's about to get hot. And he talked about the 3 points of the sun, right? And he said, if we're under the direct rays of the sun, we might get 3rd-degree burns. He said, it's better to be a little bit ahead of the sun. He said, but if you fall behind, we can't look back. And he said, if you fall off, you're gone forever, never to return, lost in the blinding light of the lodge. And he talks about it. He starts talking about it in the beginning in the Black Book, in the first chapter. So when we said, talk about one step ahead of the sun, he's obviously, it's obviously symbolism, right? And he said he's going to lead us out of the rays of the blinding light of the sun. So that's what it means when he says one step ahead of the sun. He's going to lead us out of the sun. That's what it's talking about as we cross this desert. You follow? So that's what that's talking about. And as we keep going on, then we'll elaborate it on more and more.
Anybody got any other questions before we end the call?
One sec.
We could take some more questions.
Any more?
No, not in the chat room.
Not right now.
In the chat room.
Right. And in the next call we do, we're probably going to have it set up where either we'll go through Discord or we'll go through what's Zoom. The one everybody was using during the pandemic? Zoom, or it may be Telegram, or it might be all of them, and it may even be the other one, the Clubhouse thing that everybody's using. We might integrate that in so that people will be able to call in.
Okay.
There's another question.
Yeah, somebody asked was I in contact with the master teacher
now? Yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I should be hopefully I'll be speaking to him soon.
Okay.
And if he allows me to make it public, I will.
Okay, because it says Sakina said that anybody that reaches out to the master teacher, she knows about it.
She don't know. What's she? Who is she? She ain't running nothing. Sakina done stole all this money. I'm saving her for another time. I'm going to tell y'all about her. I'm not going to waste my time. Today was about Waki because she spearheaded all, and they all work together. Sakina, Waki, and the Babtech, all of them. And some of them ain't even human. Y'all need to take a look at Sakina. You got a picture of her? Show them how this girl looks.
Let's
Have y'all
right.
seen Sakina? Help me. You know what? Help me understand this for the life of me.
Right.
I mean, this can actually give you a headache.
I mean, it says sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's better for. Sometimes people have to get the experience and see things for
you
themselves.
look at that girl. She don't even. She doesn't look human. Her teeth is hanging out. Her freaking ninty braid is going out to the side like a ram. It's just sticking out.
But the real,
Her energy is bad.
but Tabby Jet, here's the real thing. If the brother, first of all, the brother's saying that she said that. We didn't hear the sister herself say that. But if that is something that she said, then she would have to explain how the prison is letting her know everyone that is in contact with the master teacher.
Right.
She would have to now explain that. But that's hearsay because you didn't hear her. She didn't come on here and say that herself. That's somebody saying it. Right. And is there any other questions? So we can do the prayer and bring this to an end. Gotta be on mic.
Kasim Keller asks, "What is the way of Paul Musbatu?"
Who he asking me?
Just a question posted.
What is the question?
What is the way of Paul Musbatu?
What is the way of Paul Musbatu?
Yes.
What kind of question is that? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is the way? Meaning, how do we live? Or where is the way to
what leads to it? What leads to it is Patarak. But to say what is the way, he must mean what is the customs.
I don't understand that question.
I mean, it's a very general question that he asks, but
what is the way to Paul Musbatu?
What is the way of Paul Musbatu?
Oh, the way of Paul Musbatu. Well, in my opinion, it is to live, to sound is about the truth.
Right.
Paul Musbatu is about Munurupu, Asanupu, and Nevernupu. The 3 stages that we go through to get where we need to go. Like we're all on a long journey on a short path. Right. So in Wu Sabat and Paul Musbatu, right, it's a, in other words, we don't succumb to the Christianity and the monotheism's ways of living, and with their Christ saying that there's a God waving his hand, saying that this is going to take place and that is going to take place. There are stages in life that this doctrine goes through, and now we're at the last stage, which is Wu Sabat, and the way to meaning if you want to know the way to be a Wu Sabat is to study our culture, our doctrine, and we live by the rules of the planet, like what the brother just said, animism, the laws of nature. That's the best way I can explain it. I mean, if you asking me like a stranger who doesn't know about the doctrine, or if you asking me,
let's go here. I'll answer it this way, if you don't mind. So
I don't care.
Can you give me
I
some
was just
light?
trying to be,
Yes. You answered it, but Wu Sabat is the spiritual and scientific teachings of the original people, the oldest people of the planet Earth, called today the Sands or Bushmen of the Kalahari Desert of Africa. Anthropologists refer to Wu Sabat as animism, the acknowledgement that all physical and material, organic and carbon-based life originated or grew out of a conscious, intelligent, etheric, spiritual force. It is a science, a precept, a culture, a mindset, a divine message, a way of living based on the facts of life and the rules of natural nature. It is supreme reasoning, sound right reasoning. Wu Sabat is not dogma, not a belief system of hopes, blind faith, etc. Wu Sabat's highest standards are rooted in facts, proof, evidence, confirmation, corroboration, right knowledge, answers, solutions, etc. It is based on common sense, logic, numerology, mathematics, facts, rules of the natural nature. Well, rules of natural nature. It is nature or natural spiritual science taught in 3 degrees called, as the sister said, Wu Nupu, right knowledge, Asu Nupu, right wisdom, Naba Nupu, right understanding. Wu Sabat, we must teach our 4 principles, Wu Sabat Nun Reye, Wu Nupu, Atum Reye, Asu Nupu, Atun Reye, and Naba Nupu, Amun Reye, rooted in Ma'at. Our purpose in Wu Sabat and our own schools as this, the Sabian University, Amun Reye Institute, worldwide, is to set the stage and outline facts. Give me 1 second. Procedures necessary for restoration of our Sabian culture and our true way of life. Wu Sabat, Sabianism, is star worship of the Najaru, or Sabianism, star worship. The Najaru are those true stars, and we are the sons and daughters of them. Ha Gatut, the gateway, and it goes on. So that is an explanation of what Wu Sabat is, and to put it plain and simple, it is our original way of life in our culture.
Yes, that was beautiful. Yes, so
in the books, in the beginning of all of the Patarak.
Yep. I do have a question, Tabby Jet. That was
Speaking to the mic.
The question was, has the lodge been closed down? The AEO.
well, this is what happened. I was told, and you know, before I answer that question, let me say this. When I do speak to the master teacher, I don't get into that kind of stuff because it's, I don't know, it's something about Baba's voice, and I'm in there, and I'm sitting around with attorneys, and we're talking, and I just don't want to bring up the pettiness. You understand? Because Baba wanted me to make it clear to the family before that I'm not his office.
Right.
I'm not his administration. So that's not my job. That's not my part. So, but the brothers in the lodge, they were told to to go out there and raise souls. Baba
right.
did shut that down. And Tashaka Malik is sick. He got serious medical issues. I mean, he's trying to hold on by the hair of his chinny chin chin, but he ain't doing too well. You understand? These people are taking vacations. They going to Egypt. He was also seen with another sister on a cruise ship, all booed up, and she out of bikinis. They looking all stank and disgusting, and and no one says anything. No one says anything. No one questions them. And that's what y'all got to start doing. I mean, this is your life. If you want to be a part of something, you got to make sure that these people that you're involved with, that they living right, that they not just talking the talk, they walking the walk too. Because niggas in this tribe, they could put on a garb in front like a mother. I mean, I seen them. They got the nose ring from the nose to the ear. They got the Onksui on the shoes, Onksui on the hand, Onksui on the neck, Onksui on the head, Onksui on their clothes, Onksui in their ears. They Onksui out. You understand? But then when you go to their home, or they act like that in front of us, and then you see them somewhere, and you don't even recognize, like, who is that? You understand? So, Tashaka Malik is not a good person, And I can tell you this from my own experiences in dealing with him. He has never, ever tried to help me with what I'm working with Baba, with what I'm doing for Baba. He's never done anything. He's a punk. He's not going to ever step up to the judge. He's not going to ever do anything. All he's going to do is run game to y'all and take y'all money. That's it. He just wants to be in charge. He just wants to be some leader. So, I mean, Baba told the brothers to go out there and raise souls. He told everybody to, set up ways where y'all could enlighten the world and teach them. Like, think about it. I'm going to use this as an example. You had a man named Ahmaud Arbery, right? You've seen what those crackers did to him in Brunswick, Georgia. Right. And when they had the news, why wasn't there any? If I was in charge of OES or the lodge, we would have went down there to comfort his mother and to also exchange business cards and stuff with people, because Brunswick, Georgia was where they did that to Baba. So, and let me tell you, all the crackers down there in Brunswick, Georgia, they all connected together.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure the men that got sentenced to do time in prison, that other lady Jackie and all them all know each other, and Judge Royals and all them all know each other. So why did Shaka Malik love Baba so much, and he all about bringing him home? Why didn't he establish the brothers to go down there with our flags so we could have been seen on the news dressed in our regalia, representing Wu Sabat and protecting that lady and letting that lady know that we here for her son, and bringing out the light with what happened to the master teacher. Even when they had the parade, they was afraid to mention Baba's name. They took him out Baah Baah Yanun. Nobody knows who Baah Baah Yanun is if they don't study our doctrine.
Right.
They know who Dr. Malachi York is, though. Why didn't y'all say Dr. Malachi York? Dr. Malachi York. Why did y'all say Baah Baah Yanun?
Right.
They're a bunch of punks, man. They talk all this crap about they want Baba home, but they misleading people, hiding Baba's name, trying to bury him alive in the prison.
Right.
You see, we got to wake up, y'all. We got to wake up and look at things for what they are. Stop letting these witches and warlocks and this tribe cast spells on y'all. Stop shaking their hands.
Right.
Stop touching them. Stop letting them touch your children. Start sitting back and watching them and help the sister who's really doing the work, and that's me. Jet. I'm doing the work. And if I'm not, tell them to show me where I'm not. Show me where I'm not doing the work.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, in terms of the Freemasonic Lodge, I'll say this, that the brothers are free, the brothers and sisters out there are free to do. You want to give your soul to that, and you don't want to give your soul to Wu Sabat, that's your business. But I know the brothers, there's a lot of us brothers that know for a fact where that brother who you was talking about, the Shaka Malik's allegiances lie. We know for a fact that he's a Prince Hall Freemason. We've seen him. People have no idea. We know for a fact that his allegiances to Prince Hall Freemasonry, and that he's a part of an organization called the Phylaxis Society, whose symbol is a skull and bones. And their whole objective is to get rid of what they consider irregular lodges or irregular Freemasonic organizations. They make it their business to get rid of those, what they call irregular Freemasonic lodges, and then bring the brothers that was a part of what they consider regular Freemasonic lodges into their ranks, meaning to bring them back over to Freemasonry. That's that they have it. It's in their writings. It's in their publishings, and we know. But see, the people don't know better, or they're with him. Either way, if you're following that crap, you're being blinded by the light. And the idea is we're supposed to be getting from behind the 9-ball or the blinding light of the Holy Bible, compass, and the square. But that's up to people what they're going to do. You know, if you're happy with it, then go for it.
They pause. They don't want Baba home. They the reason why he's still in there. They are the reason why.
Like I said, that brother, and all the other brothers in that so-called lodge confront and fake all they want to. But like I said last week, if you really are with Wu Sabat, then ask them some questions. Don't ask them questions about all that Freemasonry and all that crap, right? That they spend a lifetime. That's their stuff. You know, that's not our stuff. The Duncan's ritual and Robert's rules, all them books by Alan Roberts and all that stuff. That's not our stuff. In fact, that's the stuff that the master teacher was warning us about in a book called Luciferian Conspiracy. But people always want to be a part of something because it's got some mystery or mystique to it. So you give that up for our true way of life, which is Wu Sabat, and for what is our true effective spiritual science. But that's up to people what they want to do. I'm not going to, continue to go back and forth about that. If they want to be part of that,
I'm not
about
no tea.
walk with brothers that don't know anything, then that's their business. Them brothers could not hold a candle to the master teacher. They can't hold a candle to him. And people will say, well, the master teacher was a Freemason. Yeah, but the master teacher didn't get blinded by the light. He was a Freemason and went and surpassed that and moved into what he had to actually teach us. Remember that. Remember what the master teacher said about the shrine and the lodge. He said that those were all created to eclipse the sun of righteousness, and that's where the organizations like different black organizations originated from. All those black organizations that came before Ansarul Law community came around, or before the Nubian Islamic Hebrews, or before we got into Wu Sabat, all of those organizations were there to eclipse the sun of righteousness. You follow what I'm saying? That's the whole point of them. If they can get people they want people to go. That's why if you look on the back of our books, you had that pyramid with the sun at the top, and then it went down into all these different organizations. People love to be part of anything other than what was actually brought to us, which is Wu Sabat. That we always want to be a part of anything that we consider to be deep, instead of just embracing our true way of life. So if people, there's no excuse other than to bring brothers out of the blinding light of Freemasonry into Wu Sabat. There's no excuse to be a Freemason. If you're a part of Freemasonic Lodge in the Sabaean, as a Sabaean, then your job is not to bring the Sabaean brothers into the blinding light of Freemasonry. Your job is supposed to be to bring the Freemasons into the black light of Wu Sabat. But the Black Devils is doing it the other way around, because they're not truly with the master teacher and Wu Sabat. They're trying to blind you. That's why they have a Holy Bible or a Quran or whatever the holy book is on the altar. That's the point, to blind you with that, or to blind you with the tools of Freemasonry. That's the objective, is to blind you so that the spiritual eye, right, never opens. They never want your spiritual eye to open.
Somebody asked a question about Harvard Hotep and his organization. Someone said that that Baba did okay or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, I never met Harvard Hotep and I don't know him. But there are people on Tamaray that knew him. And Baba wrote me a letter one time and said that he heard that Harvard Hotep was putting out books. Because what happens is this. If you notice, and after I finish, I'm gonna let you take it, because Demir, you know more about them brothers and stuff. But I'm gonna say this. I noticed this about members of the tribe. You see, one thing I can say, and I can pat myself on the back, I don't bond partners with the master teacher. I am not Baba. Okay? I'll never put a picture with my picture with Baba on a flyer. That's why you see I put the flyers out with me, or if I put the flyers out, it's just Baba, or I'll put the deities over my head with me in the center, with them over me, protecting me or whatever. But I never put my face on a flyer with Baba's face, bonded partners with the master teacher. That is one of the worst things these devils in this tribe could ever do, is do that. If you notice that a lot of people in this tribe, they get their power from the tribe. Like, my thing is this: if you, like the young elder, he uses our platform to get our followers to be a leader. You understand?
Right.
And um, you got the brother Lifeway. He goes to the culture center in the bookstore there, and he uses our images, our doctrine to pull flowers. I mean to pull to pull followers. And then you have um, there's other one like that other brother that called himself the intern. The one was he the intern government? The one with his
Right.
picture on our flag.
Right.
This nigga got his picture. We got our flag. He got his face in the where the ox tree is. He got his face in the freaking flag.
Right.
Like and it's members of this tribe that know better than that. That y'all should be checking these people. I'm gonna tell you something. What Baba told me too. He said we do not eat with Gentiles.
Right.
I don't give a damn if you don't eat meat and you're a vegan or whatever you want to call yourself. And we're not vegans, we're herbivores. Okay? Let's get that straight.
Right.
We are herbivores. We're not vegans. We use honey. Okay? So we're not freaking vegans. So stop associating our way of life with people in the world. Okay? So
Right.
you got members of this tribe that do that all the time. And my thing is this, Baba doesn't care what you do, what you sell, what you write, but don't do it on our platform. Go open up your own store and call it the store of the young elder. Go open up your own store and call it Lifeway. Go open up your own store and call it intern government and sell your products and write your books and get your followers and stop coming in our tribe, taking innocent souls off the path of the Most High.
Right.
Stop doing it because
Right.
you're nobody without us.
Right.
Find another platform to stand on. That's the part I don't like about members of this tribe. They always, and the thing is this, Baba doesn't care because the thing is this, you're not in his way.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
If you decide to follow the young elder, if you decide to follow these people that claim themselves to be gods, you're saying you're in this God because when Haru Hotep did that, Baba said, it's okay, he ain't going to be able to keep up with me. And then Baba wrote the book called The Genetic Kids.
Right. Right.
Never heard of it until Baba wrote it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's really the brother Haru Hotep, Ahmadu Varma, was he's a brother that I really looked up to back in the day. He was a great teacher, and it was really unfortunate. And a lot of this happened right before all this went down on May 8th. And I'm talking about the year prior. I remember when I was leaving out to go to Savannah, okay? And Haru, that's the first time I remember him start talking about they was thinking about purchasing the El Siha Shrine Temple out there in Macon, okay? And Haru Hotep would have known that what they call regular Freemasons or Euro Freemasons were never going to sell the Nawapian or sell the Al Makti Shriners that building in downtown Macon. It was never going to happen. There was even a newspaper article that said as much. The Euro Freemasons in the newspaper article stated that they do not recognize the Nawapian Grand Lodge as regular Freemasons. They said it in there. And then there was a guy who was the Grand Master for the state of Georgia for Prince Hall Freemasons. His name was Willie Williams, if I'm correct. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But he said that they was consulting with Euro Freemasons about what to do about the Nawapian organization. And he said that they came to the conclusion that their plan was to so-called expose Nawapian Freemasons and then get them out of Georgia and bring their brothers into their ranks. And then through what's called the Phylaxis Society, that is exactly what they went about doing. So the brother Haru Hotep actually set us up because he knew that Prince Hall Freemasons would not accept us, right? They would see us as they would see Nuwaubian Freemasons as not regular Freemasons. They would not recognize Nuwaubian Freemasons. And yet he still told the brothers in Savannah that there are about 30 Shriners in the Savannah area that will help us. Why would Prince Hall Freemasons that were Shriners help Nuwaubian Freemasons if they just said they was trying to get us out of the state of Georgia? Then he went about putting Prince Hall Freemasons in different positions in the lodge. And this is all right before the master teacher, before the raid happened. All this stuff happened right before the raid happened. And the master teacher, when they asked the master teacher, when they wanted us to all donate to get the money together because they were under contract to purchase LC Ha Shrine Temple, the brother, they asked the master teacher if he had any, the master teacher said this. He said that they were asking him if he had any more money he could donate. He said, no, he doesn't have any money to donate. He said, because he got to buy his kids Christmas gifts. This is what the master teacher said in a class. And then he said, and then the master teacher went about and said, he was asking us in the class, he said, how many of y'all joined the Freemasonic Lodge? And, people was raising their hands or whatever. And then he went on teaching. Then he asked the sisters. He said, no, then he asked us. He said, how many of y'all got your kids Christmas presents? And nobody raised their hand, right? Then he kept teaching. At the end of the class, he says, he asked the sisters, he said, how many of y'all joined the Eastern Star? He said, we got this new thing for the sisters, Eastern Stars, right? He said, how many of y'all joined the Eastern Stars? All the sisters raised their hand, woo, woo. Yeah, they all joined the Eastern Stars. And then he looked at the crowd. He said, so y'all had money to join the Eastern Stars, but you didn't have money to give to buy your kids Christmas presents. He pointed out the crowd and he left. And that was the last class I was in. And then the next thing you know, the buying of the LC Ha Shrine Temple, which was called the El Mahdi Shrine Temple, fell through. We didn't get the Shrine Temple, and then came May 8th and they raided the land. And then Haru, Anthony Evans, along with that brother who calls himself Tashaka Malik, and a bunch of other brothers, went about through the Freemasonic Lodge trying to take over us as a community. And that's why the master teacher said the only part of our tribe that is Nuwaubian is the Freemasonic Lodge, because the master teacher moved us into Wu Sabat. But the brother Haruhotep took manuscripts from some of the books that the master teacher was going to put out and tried to put his own books out. He created something called the Journey Home Group, and he went and started teaching and doing his own thing. And the master teacher said, and then he was going around telling people he had the barytheric gland and all that. And the master teacher you can find the soundbite on YouTube, the master teacher himself saying that the Haruhotep does not have his barytheric gland, and he said that the Haruhotep abandoned him.
Right. Well, yeah, because Haruhotep had I had spoke to him about something about Liberia because he was Liberian. I mean, this nigga just went off on me. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was all mean and he was yelling. He was like, I've moved on. But anyway, somebody asked a question about books, any books that Barbara recommended reading. Yeah, there's one book called The Body Snatchers. It's by Susan Reed. Everyone was told to get a copy of this book. It's about these reptilians in human form. It's called The Body Snatchers, Snatchers, and it's by Susan Reed. If you do not have a copy, I'll email you a copy. Email me at ashantizulu@gmail.com. And also some of you, because my email is getting hacked. If some of y'all want to reach out to me on, I'm not really on Instagram like that, but Instagram does have an app where you can talk to someone, and they also have an app where you can leave a message. So you can go to Ashanti Zulu. I'm on Instagram, and I don't know if it's under Ashanti Zulu or Tabajet Yehuda, but you'll see my name under Ashanti Zulu. You'll see on Instagram. You could reach out to me, and I could for those of you who might be somewhere else and you don't have access to the internet,
Right.
you can contact me through Instagram. I'm on there. Like I said, I'll check it though every now and then, like I do my emails.
Right.
Or you could email me. But right now I'm locked out of my email. I don't know how that
Okay.
happened, but I'll get back in. It's no problem.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Got you. I wanted to say one more thing. I did want to say one more thing. Another very important thing. Another way that our tribe was heavily blinded, and I also worked through the lodge, was that group of frauds that call themselves the Mount Arafat Embassy Clan or the Yamasee Native American government that was working with that brother Siku Gentle, that was them brothers, and you do your research, you'll find this out. Them brothers was involved in human trafficking for people from Mexico over into the United States. They was involved in human trafficking, and they did so much damage to Dr. Malachi'S case that it's unbelievable. But they were preying on the ignorance of the minds of the people in the tribe, because at the time, we as a tribe of people, I knew better, but a lot of people did not know better. But that dude, Latif, and them people that follow him, and you notice it's always these elders, these ex-Ansars, these old Ansars that's doing this, that's in that lodge, that's in this Mount Arafat Embassy Clan, that's always pushing all this sovereignty garbage, that as long as we are behind the 9-ball and being blinded by the light, we will never see through these disagreeable, adverse, these invisible, or these disagreeable adverse forces that are preying on the ignorance of our minds. And I'm putting that out there, and we will continue to expose that brother, because that's one of the most dangerous brothers and one of the most dangerous groups that have infiltrated into our tribe, was Latif, the Yamasee, them group of people that call themselves the Yamasee Native American government that was working with that brother Siku Gentle and the so-called Mount Arafat Embassy Clan with a fake blueback contract. That's all I have to say. And if anybody want any smoke, you know I could give it. If you're going, in other words, if you're gonna come at us, you better come with the facts, because I'm gonna pull out the books. We're gonna go by the books, and we're gonna go by the things you did and the things you say, and we're gonna show and prove where you've been lying to the tribe for 21 years. That's why we have not been able to get anywhere. And then you got the nerve to try to block this sister who's been working her ass off to free the master teacher for 21 years.
Okay. HGF 977 asks, can we set up times to read the Psalm 71 and the proclamation together so we can generate a strong frequency?
That's a real good question. That's a real good one. Did you hear that, Tabby Jet?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, definitely. We was actually thinking about trying to set up a 24-hour a day vigil until the master teacher's free, where all those that want to, we start a prayer, and then we just hand it off from one family to the next, because there's enough people in our tribe that 1 hour, one family's praying, or one parar's praying, or one group is praying, then the next hour somebody else starts to pray, and we just get the chanting and the praying up there, and we do a thing until we get the master teacher free, where we are doing chanting or praying in our Misbatia, in our Lahaj language. So that's something that
Psalm 71. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and as far as the Psalm 71,
we could do that on Thursday. We could do that Thursday night, because that's our Sufi night, our green light night.
Right.
We could do some prayers on Thursdays.
Indeed. So that's something that maybe we'll get together and talk about it, and Tabby Jet, and figure out whoever that is that posted that, figure out what everybody wants to do. But I don't know why anybody in the family will be against us doing prayers like this together as a family, and like I said, and doing that 24 hours a day, that prayer until we get the master teacher free, where we do something, and it probably will snowball, to where we have a constant prayer and chant going on, along with the proper hours where we're supposed to do our chanting and our praying. But it's up to the family what we want to do.
But I'm excited. I think like this whole thing with us meeting and we're doing this and me setting the record straight and letting the family know what's going on and who's behind Baah Baah's incarceration is because it's time for him to come out and it's almost over. It's time for him to come out.
Indeed.
Because he told me, he said, this is what's called when the chickens are coming home to roost.
Right.
And I heard of that saying before. I heard somebody told me, I asked someone when Baah Baah got off the phone, what is that? And they said, that's a quote from Malcolm X.
Right.
And then I went home and looked it up. And I was like, oh, wow. And it means that all the dirt that you did, all the grimy stuff that you've been doing, that you've been hiding, that people didn't see, will come to haunt you.
Right.
That's what that means.
And it also referred to how they end up fighting amongst themselves. Chickens coming home to roost. It also has to do with how with what you did to someone else, what you was doing is coming back to you. It's actually coming back to them now. Yep. Because it's like as you see, as more and more people are unifying and coming together and getting into Wu Sabat and getting into the books and getting into the language, that those disagreeable forces amongst us is starting to fight amongst each other, and different things are starting to happen to them. They're getting sick. You know what I'm saying? They're getting into car crashes. They're getting, it's all type of crazy stuff happening. Remember, we talked about the Slayers that would come out last week, right before Raphael blows the trumpet. Remember, we talked about that? Yeah. The Slayers that would come out, they come to you first in your dreams and they have green eyes. And he says that right before Raphael blows the trumpet, a group of beings come out called the Slayers. He said they'll come to you first in your dreams. Then after that, you'll be out somewhere doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Then he said they'll come and kill you and make it look like you got robbed. And he said, and that's what you get for misguiding the souls. It's all about guiding the souls correctly, guiding the people to Wu Sabat, to the master teachers, what the prescribed way of life that he has given us, and not away from what he has given us. He's given us the way, Pa Tarak. He's given us our true way of life. And I don't know I don't know how people could be on Tamaray and see the ships and then turn on the master teacher like this. I don't know how people can see the many miracles of the Lamb and then just turn on the master teacher like this. I don't understand this. But they in trouble now. And it's just that simple. They in trouble.
So you ready to go?
I'm ready for you to take us out with. We're ready for you to take us out with a chant or a prayer.
Okay. What should I do? Which prayer should I do?
There was one that you just do the all again.
The all prayer?
Yep.
Anuki Jawef Pa Ashuk Impa Pa'ut Wu Kalal Ashuk Kawun Jawaf Neye Anuki Kasam Impa Pa'ut Wu Pa Pa'ut Kawun Kasam Im Neye Anuki Wahu Ameh Pa Pa'ut Wu Pa Pa'ut Kawun Wahu Ameh Neye Nakuk Kador Naja Ameh Kasam Impa Pa'ut Wu Habub Ameh Muskatun Nakuk Kador Kowan Kalil Pafaf Nukuk de yor jawef pa paut ameh wase ameh de yarni kawun lake bakoi jawef pa paut anuki yabadbi nafasmi pa paut kawun anuki pa paut kador nakuk kador pa paut hamul nakuk hamul. Let me say this other prayer too. Lahehum manehlun amhum ater career hum amhum ater career kum amhum ater career nun amhum ater jawef neye amhum ater neye wu anuki hum yei ashukre e asma cheye nun yei nadar u alfuk nun nahun ater mikrar ukum yei nadar u alfuk nun alfuk nun alfuk nun yei nadar nun nun tum moon.
All right. Wadu family.
Wadu.
Wadu family.